Welcome one-on-one, one-on-two. This case, we open up with our good friend Tom Weatherall. This is his 5th appearance here on One-on-One. President and CEO of Make-A-Wish, New Jersey. And for the first time, it will not be the last, a very talented young lady. She is Ava Covington, a Make-A-Wish, New Jersey Wish Kid. How you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Well, by the way, tell everyone what a Wish Kid is.
A Wish Kid is a kid who's fortunate enough to receive a wish from the Make-A-Wish organization from their chapter in their state.
And Make-A-Wish New Jersey celebrating what anniversary?
Coming up on our 35th in 2018, Steve. Yeah.
Wow. Tell everyone what Make-A-Wish is.
Yeah, we don't want to take it for granted, right? It's really a seemingly simple mission, but as you know, Steve, you're such a dear friend and been a dear friend for a long time. We're an oh so powerful mission. We're summed up in one sentence. Our mission statement: we grant wishes to children with life-threatening medical conditions to enrich the human experience with hope, strength, and joy. These three trigger words that bring our mission to life. As the medical community knows, as Wish children and their families know, Steve, it's come to be a part of essentially treatment plans for the medical community in helping their patient.
Ava, what was your wish?
My wish was a Lewis and Clark carbon fiber cello.
Oh, but back up. You grew up where?
I grew up in Bloomfield, New Jersey.
Okay. Love music?
Absolutely
Always.
love it, of course.
What did you face in terms of your medical situation?
So I was born with a heart defect called left anomalous coronary of the right valsalva. And pretty much what that means is one of my arteries takes a complicated route to the heart, which pinches another artery. So that causes oxygen to not flow as well to the heart. And that can be really bad, and the worst case scenario causing cardiac arrest or even death.
And your wish was for this cello. Mm-hmm. We're going to listen to you in the background. Talk to us about what you love about the cello.
The cello, first of all, is just a beautiful instrument aesthetically. It's just beautiful. Like
I'm sorry, I'm looking at you right now performing. Go ahead. Keep talking to us.
Either if it's even an acoustic cello or carbon fiber or any type of cello, it just has a beautiful shape with the F holes, and it's gorgeous. And the sound, it's so deep and rich, and it's just, there's nothing not to love about the cello. It's fantastic, and you get to sit down while you play.
So you told me, Tom, that Ava performed at the gala this year.
Yeah, at our gala in June, 800 people. It was a room stopper. You could hear the pin drop, all eyes on Ava, and the power of her playing and her story, her backstory, and then her mom telling what led to this, and Ava coming out and playing, surprising the crowd, blew the roof off. So I knew I had to bring Ava to you, Steve, knowing how much you appreciate the arts and our mission.
You know, speaking of the arts, I just heard from our producers that in our green room, which I don't think is green, you met the great Christian McBride.
Yes.
Talk about talent.
He was so inspiring to talk to, and it was just so nice to see that connection between string players.
Did he know? I'm sorry for interrupting. Did he have any idea what?
No, just
You just saw Christian walking out because we're talking about the TV James Moody Jazz Festival at NJ-PAC, and Christian's all tied into it. So you meet each other, and what happens?
Organically, just Ava and he just start up their passion for music, for the arts, for jazz, and this young lady can play anything.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let me ask you, by the way, your website is up for people who want to get more information on Make-A-Wish. There are a lot of different nonprofits in this state, in this nation, in the world. What do you think makes Make-A-Wish so special?
So I just celebrated 15 years there, Steve, and I'll tell you, my answer to you today, I think is pretty similar to what I've given you in the previous times you've invited me on, but much different when I first joined Make-A-Wish. I came in thinking, you know what, it's probably a nice, warm and fuzzy mission, and that they do, and how wildly, incredibly humbled I quickly became. And all these years later, I see it evidenced on a daily basis, year after year, that Make-A-Wish brings something to the table. We pick up where science and medicine leave off, and that we're so much more than warm and fuzzy. But look, there's so many people who think that even that brings value, and they support us. Steve, I can't wait to be on again with you soon if you'll have us. There's a study coming out that we're waiting on that we got a peek into that's going to show, well, the medical community has known all along. I think one of the greatest testaments, in addition to a young lady like Ava and her family and the thousands of other families and wish children here in New Jersey, 10,000 strong, over 300,000 in the United States, the testimonials that come in as to the impact of a wish. The fact that over 80% of our referrals come from the medical community themselves, they know that what we bring is a value add.
Clinicians will say, we want you to meet this young lady, this young man, this kid, because we feel like you can help.
You better believe it, Steve. In fact, I just returned from a conference, a national conference, in fact, where Ava performed out in Scottsdale, Arizona, our national conference, and again, blew the roof off the room, where we heard our national medical advisor. He's the chief of hematology and oncology at the DeVos Children's Hospital in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And he and other panel, members of this panel, sharing with us that what Make-A-Wish brings, what they're trying to bring with science and medicine, oftentimes, this cure that they're seeking, it can wreak havoc on a body, right? On the human being. And he says, and sometimes it breaks spirits. We don't have the cure for breaking spirits, but Make-A-Wish does. We restore. You know, I mentioned earlier, one of the words that triggers our mission is joy. You see Ava speak. We know we reached her heartfelt wish, Steve. You see the joy she speaks of.
Ava, let me ask you this as we listen to Tom. What's it done for you?
For me, it has given me so much hope since I remember being in that hospital bed day after day after day. And I could feel my spirit being broken, and I was unhappy, and I felt useless, and it was just a really melancholy time in my life. But music, this love of music, they were able to take it and incorporate it all into one wish, this cello. And ever since receiving it, I've just been so much happier. I've been able to share my love of music with everyone who was willing to listen to me playing my cello, and it fills me with joy just to think about it.
I'm curious about something. For young people, for all of us, not so young, dealing with what we think is insurmountable, and we hope for the best from the clinical and the research world, and, you know, God willing, people can get the help they need. What message would you want to send to them right now if they potentially maybe thinking, is this worth it? You say what?
I would say it's 100% absolutely worth it from the bottom of my heart.
What would you say to all the parents out there for whom not every wish can be granted? There's not enough money, there's not enough resources, but what would you say to them?
Yeah, Steve, we fortunately here in New Jersey, thankfully, because of such a generous community here in New Jersey, we've not been plagued with that issue where we didn't have the funds. Still, we're running this long streak coming up on 35 years that we've not had to say no to a wish because we didn't have the funds.
Right?
However, but on that same breath, Steve, so that, I mean, that's what keeps, gets me up a foot off the floor in the morning to make sure we keep that streak going, right? But there's another side to that story. And this past year, we set another record, Steve, 530 wishes, but it's still not enough. We need to get closer to 650 to 700 because that's what incidence ratings tell us are out there of the number of kids who are probably diagnosed. The need's there. We've got to find them. We're still not finding them all. And so that's our plan coming up in this next year, our 35th anniversary, to attack that plan. And what do I say to the parents? I say, thank you for inviting us into your lives to meet inspiring stories, their children, their parents, and you know, if there's anything else I've learned, Steve, in the 15 years, in as much as people think we're bringing the gift to the child, to the family, you know, the gift, it comes back tenfold. You better believe. And you say about listening to you, it's pretty easy on the ears to listen to Ava play and speak.
Tom, thank you. Ava,
thank you.
Thank you. We promise you that we'll follow your career, your life, and you can come back with this guy or just by yourself and perform. Thank you. Thank you, buddy.
So much.
Thank you, buddy.
We'll be right back. Right after this. That was awesome.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the Healthcare Foundation of New Jersey, Valley National Bank, Rowan University, Suez, Community Food Bank of New Jersey. New Jersey Sharing Network, and by Fedway Associates. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.